All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. And of course, as you would probably know if you're watching this live, we did a take one. We were on the YouTube platform doing the live. Of course, sometimes technology can have a different mind of its own. So here we are taking a second run at this. So let's get started. And a really big, warm welcome to Yukti. Yukti, of course, this is your cue to turn on your camera. And I'm really, really looking forward to hearing your story and how you get to do the things that you do. So, firstly, a warm, warm welcome once again, Yukti. Thank you for being on our show, the iHypnosis Life Coaching Journeys.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for your invite. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here to share
Awesome.
what I meant to be.
Awesome. So, like I said, we'll start at the top. Tell us a little bit about what you do today.
Uh, I just help people to breathe right and consciously and connect to their breath
Wow.
and just expand their true potential.
Right.
That's it.
I love the simplicity with which you have phrased this. So I'd love to also understand, how did you get to this point? Like, what was your journey? Because obviously, what you do today, it didn't happen overnight. I'm sure you must have gone on a journey to, have these realizations along the way, and now you know what you do, and it speaks for itself because just the way you described it, there's so much of power in it. So before we get to understanding how you help people, take us back in time to, how did you discover this? Like, what was your journey?
The journey has been a wonderful, adventurous, ups and down ride, I would say. Like any usual middle class family, I did my engineering, got married, and here begins everything that
Mm,
has brought me till here. So yeah, I now I connect the dot actually that what was happening after
mm,
coming so long. So yeah, there come a point when I was feeling very lonely and depressive, stressed a lot, not feeling enough worthy. Though I
mm,
was engineering graduate, but I was not earning, and I have attached my worthiness with the money. That I understood very recently, in fact. But yeah,
mm,
it was all hampering my health, making me more and more stressed, anxiety, depression, and then it started manifesting in my body with
mm,
respect to migraine issues, lot of cough, cold, wheezing. I did join a job. I was
mm,
doing every bit of the normal person, no yoga, pranayam, then going to allopathic, homeopathic treatments, Ayurveda, I tried, Sujok, pranic healing, Reiki healing, whatever any person has suggested me on this earth. I tried everything. And meanwhile, I met with an accident also while driving two-wheeler. I
mm,
was hit by a Fortuner and I was bedridden those 4 months. And those were the very horrible months of my life that has
mm,
made me more further going into the down spiral of feeling lonely and depressive, feeling
mm,
that I'm not worthy at all. I'm a burden on my family. I'm not even taking care of my kids. What kind of a mother I am. I don't deserve to be alive.
mm,
So I've gone to that deep depression, suicidal point. And I was just asking universe that show me the way. Why am I here? Why so much of struggle? And of course,
mm,
I was now I know that I was so much into me and victim mindset
mm,
also. I also realized there was a very small incident happened. I went to a place where I was invited for Katha, Satnarayan
mm,
Katha kind of.
mm,
And I just had my knee surgery done, so I went there with the walker and the stick, in fact. And I was given place to sit on a chair, of course, because I can't sit on the floor because of my
mm,
knee surgery.
mm,
And I saw these 60-year-old lady, 70-year-old lady sitting on the floor, and me at that time was 35 years
mm,
sitting on chair. that shook my soul like anything. And I decided that I can't take it for granted. I
Mm,
really need to work on it. And from there, my
mm,
journey begins gradually. And I come across a lot of breathing techniques, and I was doing it ignorantly. Whatever the
mm,
people have suggested, I have done. And I've done a lot of years, I've invested a lot of years also. But I come across one very powerful breathwork practices, and that has changed me completely. And
mm,
I could, when I continued the journey, I could heal myself physically, mentally, emotionally, every ways. And I realized that there is a whole gap
mm,
uh, when it comes to breathing. And the gap is, though I was doing pranayam, though I was doing other kriyas taught by different teachers,
mm,
the missing point was I was not breathing right.
mm,
So doing those breathing practices for 1 hour, 20 minutes in morning and rest of the day, I wasn't just aware of my breath at all,
mm,
whether I was breathing right or wrong. And that was the biggest gap I could identify in myself. I was a reverse breather, in fact. Wrong, maybe I would say I was a reverse breather
mm,
completely. So I realized that it is not just about how we are breathing and doing any kriyas or techniques in the morning or any part
mm,
of the day, but it is also about building an awareness throughout the day. How am I breathing and how much I'm aware of my emotions? Because
mm,
breath and emotions go very hand in hand.
mm,
I strongly believe, feel that if I'm a person who is doing some 8 ghanta morning, 1 hour
mm,
meditation, breathing, but rest of the day, if you feel too much overwhelmed, you know, bogged down with emotions, shouting on kids, boss, feeling, low energy by the evening, I would say you are not using your breath optimally. Your
mm,
breath is, you are not breathing optimally, you are not using your breath optimally if you are too much stressed out, because stress
mm,
and breath goes hand in hand. If you are very much stressed out, breath is deteriorated.
mm,
So that has been my biggest discovery of my life. And not to run behind breathing technique, rather connecting and nurturing your breath truly and expanding
mm,
your awareness. So yeah, that's why
mm,
I just say that I just help people to breathe right and consciously.
mm.
And I really don't want people to just run behind breathing techniques. Yes, there are a lot of breathing techniques. It's good to
Sure.
learn, practice everything, but
Mm,
building that conscious awareness of breath, your emotion, is the key in your life, I would say. Yeah.
mm, mm. Wow. So you talked, like you given us the short version of you talked about an accident that happened, and then that incident where you were you were invited to. What was the process you were invited to do when you saw the 60 and 70-year-old ladies?
Oh, yeah, that was just a Satyanarayana Katha where I have seen people sitting on the floor,
Right,
and I realized that where am I today, and what is gonna happen to me in the
right.
next, another
Mm,
30, 40
mm,
days.
mm,
And those were the times where I've got diagnosed with a lot of health issues. One of them
mm,
was, vitamin D deficiency,
mm,
and doctor has told me to take injection. I felt like a shit, Yukti.
mm,
The sunlight is available and
mm,
you are not using that sunlight and you are dependent on medicines.
mm,
uh, Another shit that I feel in my life was when I was diagnosed with thyroid.
mm,
Because, and my close doctor friend told me that you have to take it till your last breath, till the end of your
mm,
life. And thyroid medicines has to be taken in the morning only.
mm,
And I took it couple of years in fact,
mm,
but thankfully I was able to overcome thyroid also with breath so completely. So I felt very bad that time also, that how much
mm,
I am so much becoming dependent on medicines, my body,
mm,
and I deny somehow internally my soul didn't accept this route of
mm,
just depending upon medicines. Rather,
mm,
my soul choose to heal, and yeah, breath has been a powerful tool in this beautiful journey
mm,
of healing. Yeah,
mm,
that's it.
mm. Right. Do you recall when you realized that, okay, the actual solution for you was breath? Like, did you have that one, like they call it the penny drop moment, right? When you suddenly went, oh, I get it now. This is what it is. Do you remember that moment when you said, breath is my thing and that's what is going to, create that shift for me?
So yeah, you are very right
Mm,
that that moment has come to me
mm,
where I have experienced very, very deep connection. I still remember
mm,
I joined these breathwork programs
mm,
just out of sake because they were very scientifically designed, and me being an engineering MBA graduate,
mm,
it all made me more sense at that
mm,
time.
mm,
Um, how to improve my breath rate,
mm,
DOC, optimal breathing, and all that.
mm,
Okay, I said okay, and they have also shown me that how breath and stress is related and how diseases are getting created. So I
mm,
thought, let me give it a chance. With zero hope, I have joined because I have been into before only lot of the therapies has already been done and
mm,
dusted on me. Nothing works. So I thought, okay, just if there is something within me that is not correct,
mm,
can I take the responsibility to correct it? That was the only
mm,
thing. Beyond, even though the doctors are not telling me to do this because we
mm,
follow doctors. If
right.
any disease happens, we just follow doctors.
Mm,
But we are we doing something for our sake? So that was the
mm,
question I still remember that has come to me that Yukti, what you are doing for yourself,
right.
how you are taking care of yourself. Doctor
Mm,
will do doctor's job.
mm,
Physiotherapist will do physiotherapist job. There was a physiotherapist who used to come for me. But
mm,
what you are doing for yourself, if you know already that your breath is wrong, you are not
mm,
breathing right. So can you
mm,
take the responsibility of breathing right?
mm,
So then gradually what happens is you will be surprised, Rahul, that
mm,
there was a small moment of awareness I start getting it. When I started practicing breathing
mm,
in my daily routine, like morning hours are always very, very stressful for me, going to office. I
mm,
started working by that time.
mm,
So going to office, packing lunch and
mm,
everything for kids. And I remember the moment I used to get up in the morning, the first thought of me in those moments was कुकर को गैस पे चढ़ाना.
mm,
Am I allowed to
mm.
speak Hindi in between?
Yeah,
I
of
just
course,
want to
100%.
check. Okay. So कुकर को गैस पे चढ़ाना, दाल
Mm,
बनानी, कितना मिनट है? Yukti, you are a multitasker.
correct.
Yukti will do go and
Mm,
फटाफट Yukti will do the job. Lot of things. I used to take lot of pride in being a multitasker.
mm,
But what was the drawback of it?
mm.
Would you like to know?
Of course.
I used to burn my hand a lot
Oh,
when I work in kitchen.
mm,
So because I was in so much hurry,
right.
you will find me having my hand burn
Mm,
because of आपने कुछ गरम पकड़ लिया and
right.
all that.
Mm,
All the time, in fact. I used to
mm,
burn myself a lot all the time. I was a person who used to fall a lot while walking,
wow.
every now and then.
Mm,
When I started working with my breath, there is a sense of calmness
mm,
and stillness start growing in me.
mm,
And I have observed that in those moments when I was finding, just being aware that, oh, I am breathing fast.
mm,
When I was waiting for my Uber and Ola, and the thought was that, oh, I'm getting late for my office. And
mm,
those small moments, I have I realized that, oh, I can see my breath, and
mm,
the moment you see your breath, it is fast, it automatically starts settling down.
mm,
And I started feeling those moments of calmness and stillness.
mm,
And this has started showing up as I earlier used to walk and fall. My falling down episode has become literally zero. My
mm,
burning issues has become completely zero. So
mm,
there was more and more awareness started
mm,
coming to me with breath.
mm,
And one such day I remember after the practice, one of the days I remember after the practice when I left my, the clubhouse where I used to
mm,
practice, and I was down on the tree.
mm,
I sat there.
mm,
I sat there, and I was so high because of the breath and
mm,
deeply connection, very, very deep. So connection that I felt whole and complete and just happy
mm,
for no reason.
mm,
What I used to seek outside the happiness, I just felt I have it.
mm,
That was my, I was just happy,
mm,
just being happy in my own zone. I was, I sat there for around 30 minutes or so, and I came upstairs in my
mm,
house also, and I was just happy. There was nothing to worry about, nothing.
mm,
So that was a wonderful feeling. I really remember that, and I realized that,
mm.
yeah, this is what it is, the
Wow.
the crux. And how can I build this more and more in my life? That has become the question. It
Mm.
just start happening. That's it.
Wow. Amazing. So let's do a part two to this, what you just shared, right? This was your personal revelation where you're like, wow, okay, this is really working for me. And it's like, I have this, like, I have everything. What was that moment, if you sort of fast forward to when you realized that I'm meant to share this with other people?
That's a very funny story. So I have been a student for quite a long time
Mm,
of learning breathing practices
mm,
and all that. So there the practices that I have been learning, I thought, what if it is there with me, you know,
mm,
like the tutorials and everything, if they are with
mm,
me, I
mm,
can do it anytime.
mm,
Earlier, I used to go for classes for 3 days, and I had this hunger to do more.
mm,
So I thought, what if I can get all the knowledge and tutorials? So I enrolled for the program. I just did that program, become the instructor, and I posted
mm,
on my Facebook that I have done this. From nowhere, a lot of people started asking me that, oh, you have become instructor, and I could see the change in me, my aura, or whatever you can say.
mm,
That somehow people just asking me, "Oh, you look so healthy and happy and energetic, Yuti." I said,
mm,
"Oh, okay, thank you so much." I was in that mode, and
mm,
I remember. It was like 2nd Feb 2019. Suppose I have done the course,
mm,
and 9th Feb, I started the classes because people asked me,
mm.
Yukti, when you are going to start classes? I said, I
Nice.
have no, intention to start. So then they said, no, no, you please start. We will
Mm,
come. We would love to
mm,
learn from you. We can see you have lost weight. You have gained strength. You have healed yourself. You have changed. There's something
mm,
within you that has changed, and we would love to learn from you. And next Saturday only, I have invited those people. My first class was of 3 students, those who have joined. And from there, it has just
mm.
never stopped. It just continued.
Nice. Wow. Now, so if you fast forward to a year later, so you talked about 2019 when you kind of had that shift, right? What was it like when you could see things changing around you during COVID? Because, when you talk about COVID and you talk about breath or breathing, there's such a direct correlation that it's hard to not think about that, right? So,
Absolutely.
what was that experience like for you when, from the early phases where, people were doing whatever they were doing for years, and then suddenly there was this little, you know, uh, pressing the brakes and pausing for a moment, which kind of expanded over time. But what was that? What was your experience during that, 2020 phase? Because you had already started teaching people a year before. So 1 year later, what was
Yeah.
that like for you?
So 1 year later, I tell you, in December 2019, I left my job.
Mm,
I said I'll take a break.
mm,
Uh, and I left my job, and I thought, let me see what universe has for me.
mm,
And I still remember when I left the job, and the first day when I was sitting in the home, 11 a.m. That was the time, When I have finished everything, whatever needed to be done, and there was no one in the house,
mm,
and I felt so liberated that I have never thought that even
mm,
not having a job, I will be feeling so much liberated and happy and content within me.
mm,
Because the moment we leave job, the first thing, oh, finance, money, blah, blah, blah
mm,
things. But I felt very much into flow somehow.
mm, mm,
I could really feel that feeling.
mm,
And thereafter, things starts happening to me.
mm.
I could see that I was thinking and things were happening to me. I
Nice.
thought, what if I take people for trekking and we are doing the breath work on the top
Mm,
of the hill. I was just imagine just like that. This it comes to
mm,
me, and I remember going down in my apartment. I come
mm,
across a stall. There were a lot of stalls on that day on Sunday, and this particular stall was of a travel,
mm,
trek travel.
mm,
And usually the older Yukti would have never gone there and speak.
mm,
This Yukti thought, okay, let me just try it out. I
mm,
just spoke to them and they said, okay, we will have a conversation. We exchange number, then we have a conversation. And in
mm.
December itself, I took a group of people along with them for the trek. And that has
Wow.
been my first trek to take people
Nice.
for it was a 1 2 day trek kind of a
Mm,
thing. And we did breath work and I had
mm,
huge fun I never had in my life before. It has completely opened the
mm,
door, and that's how I think it was not me thinking. It was,
mm,
strongly believe every person when there's a, your truest, deepest desires always
mm,
come true. The life when it flows through you,
mm.
uh, it always come to you. It is
Right.
not your logical mind thinking, but
Yes.
it is flowing through you. It is
Mm,
channelizing through you. So that's how things started happening
right.
here and there. I started getting few assignments also, and I remember I've been into summit, one of the summit, global summit that has happened in Kerala at that time
Mm,
in the Feb, in fact.
mm,
And it was the peak time, COVID time have
mm,
started already,
mm,
and people were saying not to travel and all that. And the moment I came back, I think March 1st, second week only, everything has stopped.
mm.
The moment it just stopped, I shifted my students for online. I still remember we used to have those Skype calls.
Yes.
So all my students, I think not even a day or 2 day
Mm,
delay, I just started, I said, let's come on Skype. And
mm,
I started taking classes from Skype, March. And that's where you will be again find it funny,
mm,
very funny, in fact. No mates, March was the time,
mm.
last week of the March, no mates, everyone was
Correct.
home. And I was doing all the cleaning, dusting, cooking, and
Mm,
everything. And I remember cleaning my balcony.
mm,
Okay, balcony around 12 o'clock it was. And, I got this one moment where I had this talk with me that, Yukti, is that all you want to do in your life?
mm,
And I said, no, this is
mm.
not what I meant to be. I cannot just be cleaning. And that is a COVID time, you understand, where
Correct.
there is no other option for you to
Yeah.
do anything
Yeah.
but do everything
Mm,
you are doing. But when I had this
mm,
conversation, I shifted my focus.
mm,
Swiftly, there is something within deeply shifted in me that I shifted my focus. Very calmly, I announced in the house, this is what I will be doing. Rest of the work has to be taken care by each person in the house.
mm,
I have not given any command or instructions,
mm,
but I have simply, with very, I think, very poise and stillness, I said that I can cook. Okay, I will support the family with the cooking.
mm,
The rest all the household work. There's a lot of things, jhadu, pocha, bartan,
mm,
kapde. There are a lot
mm,
of things. Okay, but I was only doing 3 times cooking.
mm,
That's it. Just all the work you won't realize. In my family, my husband has never cooked before.
mm,
Never. And March end, I was just thinking that how can I, what best I can do. And that's where I have come across our common coach,
mm,
Sids,
mm,
to whom I was following Siddhartha
mm.
Shekhar for some 4 5 years as a digital coach.
Okay.
But that day, for the
Mm,
first time, I borrowed money from my husband and I bought his level 1 program.
mm,
It was 28 March 2020.
mm,
I still remember that. And I have not seen his any webinars or something. I think I have
mm,
got some email of
mm,
the membership, and that's how I joined this. I asked my husband, "Shall I do it?" He said, "Your choice," or something. He said, "Yeah, if you feel like you go." I felt at that moment that yeah, this is the right thing for me to do
mm,
right away.
mm,
And from there, everything from me has changed. That one swipe of card and that day has completely turned around my life.
mm,
Completely, not only me, but in my family also.
mm,
I just become busy with the work, watching videos day after days. And if you remember, there is this Earl Nightingale secret
mm.
that we used to listen in
Strangest
early
secret in the
morning.
world.
Stranger Secret, yeah. I was listening to it, and my husband was cleaning the utensil. It was 6 a.m. in the morning.
Mm,
And I just plugged, मैंने अपने एक कान से ईयरफोन निकाल के उनके कान में डाल दिया. I just put it in his ear and I made him listen also. Okay.
mm,
And then things started
mm,
changing in my whole family. The person who has never cooked, he
mm,
saw me busy and somehow he started cooking also. Like he started
wow.
supporting me at the
Mm,
weekend. And there
mm,
was a time, Rahul, when I was very cringy. I was not well, and I used to say, "You cook." He never did that because he was having his own things. Of course, everyone has that.
mm,
So when I was chasing few things
mm,
in family, it was not happening. But
mm,
when I shifted whole focus on myself, everything around me has
mm,
started happening.
mm,
There was a time when I used to feel not connected with my own kids.
mm,
I felt I'm taking care of my kids as a mother. The regular stuff that every mother do,
correct.
food, make them study, take
Mm,
them to classes, all these things were happening, but there was a
right.
certain kind of, that connection was missing. I don't know what it was.
Mm,
Honestly, I never knew what was it was. Only now I realized that connection was because that missing connection was not with them. It was my connection with me and my soul, my
mm,
breath. And one such fine day when I was going through Siddharth courses, I realized that yes, breath has helped me, and that is the one thing because that question popped up that what is
mm,
that you can do Yukti till your last breath?
mm,
Because I was in my 40s that time. I
mm,
started into my 40s, so I was like, यार 40s में fitness में घुसना how safe it is. अभी तो
mm,
मेरी टांग टूट के जुड़ के चुकी
mm.
है. What if something happened like that? What
Correct.
will you do? So all
Correct.
those thoughts were popping up. So I
Mm,
thought कि मेरी दोनों हाथ चले जाएं, दोनों टांग भी चले जाएं, but as long as I'm breathing,
mm.
I can certainly help people to
Beautiful.
breathe.
Mm,
And that was the deja vu experience, a
mm,
very, very enlightening experience. I remember it
mm,
was 11 p.m. at night. My husband was sleeping, and I was completely floored when
mm,
I got this moment.
mm,
And in front of me, there was a poster. Yeah, I
mm,
was doing on something on my laptop, and the whole exercise where I need to understand what is my niche or where
mm,
I have to go forward. But I realized, yeah,
mm,
ये चीज मैं पक्का से लोगों को अच्छे से सिखा सकती हूँ. I would
mm,
love to teach. मुझे कुछ आइडिया नहीं था बहुत ज्यादा कि हाँ क्या कैसे होना है, but that is what I found कि हाँ ये हो सकता है. And the moment I looked up from my laptop, it was
mm,
written there also, you know,
mm.
just breathe.
Wow. Wow.
And then I took a pause, and actually that was the day where I realized that yeah, that's it. This is my purpose. This is what I wish to do.
Mm,
I was a wrong breather. I could connect the dot. I was a
Mm.
wrong breather. Then I, started more connecting and fixing my breath, right
Mm.
breathing, and all those things,
Mm.
awareness. I
Mm.
become better. And this is what I actually help people with.
Mm.
And even the first session that I have taken on 2nd April, when Siddharth
Mm.
has told us that go and take session on any topic, three
Mm.
secrets to improve, dash.
Mm.
And I unconsciously I have filled actually three secrets to improve breathing.
Wow. Nice.
And this was around after that, actually.
Mm.
So I took the session. First session I was already taken on breathing, but I had no clarity what I want to. But then later only I got the clarity. Yeah. And
Mm.
I felt so connected
Mm.
that come what may, till my last breath, this is what I want. There's
Nice.
no ifs and buts
Mm.
whatsoever keep
Mm.
happening in my life. It doesn't matter. But yeah, this is the thing I would do.
Mm.
That's so much peace,
Mm.
so much alignment in that moment I have felt, and till now.
Amazing. Wow.
That never I have got this idea if things are not
Mm.
working, shall I do this, that? Nothing, never. It has
Mm.
never touched me, my soul, that anything else, any other alternative
Mm.
is there for me to check out or do anything. Just
Wow.
very much in me. That's it.
Mm. Amazing. That's really beautiful. Uh, so I'm sure, when people are listening to this story now, they will also be reminded of, as you said, that we all have this purpose inside of us. And a lot of times, it's like sometimes we're told that go after purpose, chase after it, follow your passion or whatever it is. But interestingly, as you shared, a lot of times it comes to us, when we have that sudden moment and literally, like you saw the writing on the wall, that we are suddenly faced with who we are, who we've always been, but just that in this moment we recognize it. So I'm sure it will, land for people that you already have your purpose. It's just about being willing to, stay open. And then when that comes, and then you're like, yes, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So let me ask you this question, because obviously you're talking, 2020 when you started this journey, and now we're talking 5 years later, right? Um,
Yeah.
so when you look back now, and as you've been hearing yourself, um, what would you say are maybe like two or three highlights that stand out for you? Like these are those moments that kind of, so you had that realization, and what has taken that realization to a different level altogether? Like what would be like these? Yeah, go ahead.
Realization to the next level, I would say, I started with nothing but this belief
Mm,
system that it will work, the breath will work.
mm,
That's it. And yes, there is a lot of ignorance about breathing.
mm,
People think that breathing means pranayam. And
mm,
so there was this funny incident happened.
mm,
Before I go ahead to tell you
mm,
further, since it has just come to my mind,
mm,
there was a very renowned coach,
mm,
and I was meeting his family, and his
mm,
husband asked me, "What do you do, Yukti?" I said, "I'm a breath coach."
mm,
He said, "Okay, you teach pranayams?"
mm,
Um, um, so I said, "Yeah, I do, but I teach
mm,
a lot of other stuff also."
mm,
Okay, what is that? Like he said, breathing means pranayam only,
mm,
no? So yeah, I said, Yes, but there's a difference in the whole gamut of it.
mm,
So it it is not easy for people to understand what breathing can do to them.
mm,
At physical, mental,
mm,
emotional, at career, at relationship wise, what you can do,
mm,
what breathing can do to them.
mm,
And of course, when I started, I was knowing few things and my own personal journey,
mm,
a modality, one of the kind of modality. And then I started learning more and more,
mm,
research and everything. What
mm,
made me more and more having confidence and realization is my students' stories and
mm,
their journey. That
mm,
has been, I would say, even more profound than me. My journey is nothing actually.
mm,
My journey, I think it's okay journey, whatever. I really value my journey, but what my student can have achieved, what my students achieve, that has been a big eye opener and
mm,
has expanded uh, that yeah, everything is possible with breath.
mm,
People having heart issues and where their surgeries has to go in next 15 days or so, somehow they are joining me and they are connecting to me.
mm.
66-year-old I'm talking about, a very
Wow.
thin person, Jagdishi. He joined December
Mm,
2023, first
mm,
December, and he said, Yukti, can it help me? Breathing can help me with heart issues. I said, it will certainly help you, but I
mm,
can't promise you the
mm,
time. It may take 6 months. But the question is, are you willing to work and surrender to the breath? And he said yes.
mm,
Started practicing. Nothing much complex. Let me tell you that. Nothing
mm,
much complex. Simple foundation practices that we do. He was just doing that. 15 days later in our community call, he shared with us, "Okay, I'm very happy to share. Doctors has found that my vitals has improved.
mm.
He postponed the surgery and his blood thinning medicines have also gone half, and a
Nice.
lot of other medicines has been tapered down."
Mm,
And I was in awe. I was simply awestruck.
mm,
What a journey. Very critical cases like interstitial lung diseases cases have
mm,
come. And not only I'm talking about the diseases, sleep,
mm,
stress, anxiety, depression,
mm,
all these things are
mm,
taken care, respiratory issues. But at the awareness level, if I share, you will be,
mm,
awestruck how, people have started using breaths. What I feel
mm,
is that where I'm helping people is to, just helping them with seeding the seeds of wisdom.
mm,
And I am just enabling them to use your breath in all areas of your life, wherever
mm,
you are feeling challenges. And my students, one of them was Kalpana, she has this fear of traveling through air, flight,
mm,
and severe
mm.
fear. उसकी वजह से उसकी फैमिली ट्रेन से ट्रैवल करती थी.
Wow.
And they used to travel sometimes, if you are in Agra and you have to go to
Mm,
Goa, it's just not possible.
mm. True.
And she came back from a trip and she told me, Ma'am, this time I have gone by flight and I use my breath.
Nice.
Earlier, I used to get so much stress,
Mm,
anxiety, and vomiting sensation. My ears were blocked. This time, I just kept breathing. I stayed calm. Nothing happened to me, ma'am.
mm,
That was very amazing.
mm,
That was very amazing. One of the other student, he's now 50 plus, and he stays with his mother. And he told me something very, seems very weird. And he has just attended some 5 day session. At that time I was running 5 day master class kind of. And he said that, Yukti, when you told us to do something, sorry, you
mm,
told us to do something in the breath.
mm,
And from there onwards, something shifted in me that earlier my mother never used to listen me. But now, I don't know what has happened. My mother is following me
mm,
wherever I'm doing, whatever I'm telling her to do, she's doing that.
mm,
Um, and even so, her internal wiring got changed.
mm,
And he was the person who told me that nobody is, in his relatives were valuing him, his aunts and everything. And he said that now all of a sudden he started getting phone calls from his very, very
mm,
old friend. All those things have started happening.
mm,
And people, those who were suffering with insomnia for more than 2 years, tried a lot of herbal teas, this, that.
mm,
Within 15 days, simple practices, they could just overcome their insomnia issues,
mm,
sleep apnea issues, high BP issues. A lot of things started happening. And there are people in my community when they're joining, they are already a yoga practitioner. A lot of doctors are there, in
mm,
fact, in my community. But I would say that breathing is beyond pranayama.
mm,
Okay, pranayams are just one of the part, and yes, it is expansive. But are we truly ready to, equipped to practice pranayama? And
mm,
that's again, if you really go and do the research, then you will come to know that. Um, what is exactly pranayama and who should be doing, who should not be doing. It is applicable for breathing. So that's how
Mm,
my students have given me a lot of confidence. And this belief system is just growing day by day, moment by
mm.
moment with every breath. That's all I can say.
Wow, beautiful. I love how
I can,
you've I
yeah,
know.
keep on saying, but yeah.
I love how you've kind of given us a broad sense and, like such different stories and how what you do has made that difference in their life. So maybe what we'll do now is, so we went from present to past and we've come back to, we're here back in the present. So if you could share with us, like, what is it that you do today? So, for example, maybe you have a particular program, or maybe you're running something on an ongoing basis with the intention that, and that's the reason why this podcast exists, to help more people out there who are looking for, who have tried other things maybe and it's not worked, right? And
Yeah,
the other reason, of course, why we do this podcast is so that other coaches and healers who are on the journey, as I'm sure you would also have noticed in your own journey, we have the ups and we have the downs, right? So for people
yeah,
who are,
right.
at a good place, they will resonate with you at a different level. For people who are maybe stuck right now in their own minds, or maybe they're trying something that they thought they were meant to do, but it's not working, just hearing you and what you do, I'm sure it will also give them more inspiration to keep going. Yeah. So if you could share with us what you do today, like for example, if we were a fly on the wall and we were seeing what happens in your community, let's say what you do on a weekly basis or in your sessions, in your programs, walk us through that, Yukti.
Thank you, Rahul, for giving me this opportunity.
Mm,
So, uh, I do a lot of online. I have my online community that
mm,
is Wellness Abundance Hub community. We are conscious and right breathers,
mm,
and we are going in a very growth stage. In fact, I'm really grateful to share that this is the fifth year running for Yuktiness. We started
nice.
in 2020, July
Mm,
2020, Yuktiness got registered. So this is actually our foundation month also, and we
mm.
are already doing a lot of things
Yeah.
at our
And your
end.
brand is called Yuktiness, correct?
Yeah, it is
Wh-
called Yuktiness.
Yuktiniss. Beautiful.
Yes,
Huh.
Yuktines.
Huh.
And breathe wellness in abundance is what we say and we
Mm,
follow. That is applying breathing in all 8 areas of wellness, and
mm,
just
nice.
be in an abundant person
Mm,
zone.
mm,
So in my community, we have different programs.
mm,
We have a silver membership program that is
mm,
called Breathing Fitness Bundle, where I take people for a breathathon challenge, a journey where
mm,
we are having live classes weekly as well as a community connect where I handhold them, audit them, correct them in my live classes. There are certain courses also.
mm,
There is a challenge and there are certain milestone they achieve at 30 days, 90 days, and
mm,
these are all very measurable journey.
mm.
People think that if you are in a weight loss program, you can measure your weight loss
Correct.
in 20 days, 30 days,
Mm,
right?
mm,
But here in breath journey also, we are having a very measurable journey that people can actually see that yes, they are improving with their breath, and we focus on breath and rest of the thing that is overcoming stress, anxiety, depression, sleeping disorder, wheezing, cough, cold, anything that is
mm,
immunity issues or mental health issues, they automatically subside, and the result that they need is the byproduct.
mm.
So that's how we focus on. We don't focus on problem, we focus on breath, and automatically these things
Right.
start sorting out. Okay? And when people come into their journey, see, I believe in one thing
Mm,
that why we are different from animals is because we have awareness gifted and we have a huge potential. We are
mm,
the people who are the creator. And in our community, we have 108 Surya Namaskar community also. So
mm.
I'm a yoga practitioner and teacher also.
Right.
And you will be surprised, Rahul, that at the age of 66 plus year old ladies,
Mm,
men, women are also doing 108.
nice.
One time they were not even able to do two Surya Namaskar.
Mm,
They're doing through chair,
mm.
wall, mat, different ways, okay,
Correct.
depending upon. But it is all, I always ask people to challenge themselves and change
mm,
and break the habit of being yourself. So if
mm,
you are really want to break your limiting beliefs, break the habit of being yourself,
mm,
I would love to work with you.
mm,
Because breath is a very, very powerful tool. That's what my whole community is based on, the
mm,
foundation of breathing and anything that we can achieve. So you train your mind with your breath. Your mind is the king of five senses, but your
mm,
breath is the king of your mind. We
mm,
work on this philosophy.
mm.
And that's the truth. It's not just a philosophy, but
Correct.
that's the truth. How can we
Mm,
control? How can we watch our mind thoughts and regulate it, our nervous
mm,
system, everything. So I believe in, people to become aware of their superhuman capacity and truly achieve their superhuman potential.
mm,
My personal goal, if you ask me, is live 100 years. That's my
mm,
personal goal.
mm.
And anyone who resonates, come along.
Right.
And another weird, you can say the goal, or yeah, I'm a crazy person, and I think
Mm,
everyone must be,
mm,
that doing 108 till my till I'm, when I'm even turning 100 years.
mm,
I don't know whether I will be, how will be, but even after 10 years or 20 years, if people are listening to this podcast,
mm.
do come and check, keep a check on me. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because and every time I come on a mat to do 108, I still feel nervous.
Mm, wow.
A lot of nervous. I
Mm,
still feel that.
mm,
And I truly believe in challenging my core. And that's the reason
mm,
I have set high standard for myself and for the people, for my community
mm,
also. And it may seem very weird,
mm,
crazy, that, oh, Yukti, I cannot do even one Surya Namaskar and I'm
mm,
bedridden and all that. How can I do? Then I will only say that when I was bedridden, and if somebody has told me, Yukti, you will be doing 512 Surya Namaskar one day,
mm,
I would have punched that person for sure.
mm.
I am bedridden and you are joking me and telling me we don't know
Right.
what's coming to us in our
True.
future. We
Mm,
build it step by step. So
mm,
can you just surrender, trust, and flow? That's the
mm.
whole game it is all about.
Wow.
And forget 512, 108.
Mm,
Even if you are doing 2, 4, 5, 8 from zero, isn't it
mm.
an achievement?
Correct. So true.
Isn't it an evolution? Isn't it
Mm,
you becoming a better version of yourself? So yeah, this is the whole crux ideology that I am strongly building in my community to expand, not
mm,
just teaching you breathing technique with awareness and with the emotions. Okay, that
mm,
is the, and getting into the flow state. How can I build
mm,
the flow state?
mm,
So this is about silver membership. We are having 2 live sessions, weekly challenges, monthly challenges, and then I have my breath champion community also. These are the people who is it suitable for. If you are someone who truly want me to handhold you in this
mm,
journey, you want close and tight accountability with more audit and advanced community. Now, these are the people who are very much fitness freak.
mm,
And I say not just physically, but they are also in their journey of mental and emotional
mm,
evolution,
mm,
okay, building the relationship with myself. So this is the place where whatever I'm learning, going through, I'm sharing with my students,
mm.
because I know that these are the right people also who are the
Right.
seeker. We
Mm,
do yoga, breath work. These are the modalities, nirvana flow practices, body breathe workout. Then we have a lot of workshops, relationship, conscious building, conscious
mm,
relationships se leke, detox programs
mm,
se leke, a lot of things. And there's a lot of hand holding. If you are someone who is looking for purpose, how can we channelize those? How can be more
mm,
aware of our emotions? How can I improve my relationship,
mm.
heal myself, overcoming? See, this is a space where you just don't overcome your
Right.
current health issues. This is a
Mm,
place where you go more and expand more yourself
mm,
physically, mentally, and
mm,
emotionally. So yeah, these are the two kind of a programs I'm giving online as of now.
mm,
And offline, we are doing a lot of conscious breath work, ice bath. I'm an ice bath facilitator also.
mm.
So these are my healing heart workshops, and I do once in a while awaken retreat. These are also my offline programs. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So maybe this is that part where you can share with us, how did you get here, but from a different perspective. So this is something that we call the journey of mentors. So you did, of course, mention, Siddharth in passing when you came across him more specifically in 2020. But in your journey, who you consider to be people who came into your life at different points and helped you on this journey as you are now more and more, doing what you're doing. You're literally, living your purpose, but along the way, who were some of these mentors that stand out in your mind? Like, like I was at this point and then this mentor entered, and, how that made a difference to your life. And of course, do mention their names, because something I realized, like today we've done more than 70 of these podcasts. And in the initial years, when we did the first couple of interviews and podcasts, I realized I had not asked this question, and it's a very important
Mm.
question because, one, it's an opportunity for you to express your gratitude for people who have, played a role in making you who you are. And two is, and I've seen it, I'm sure you also seen it in your journey, that sometimes when you hear these names of people, it can help you on your journey to go deeper in your, whether it's your own search for, or you're really like connecting with your purpose. So you're looking for that next teacher, and as they say, when the student is ready, the master appears, right? So in your words, Yukti, if you could walk us through, like, what was that journey for you? Like, who are these people, these magical people who showed up in your life at different
Yes, I
points?
would certainly like to share with immense, immense gratitude, Rahul. In fact, there's a wall, and over that,
Mm,
I have put the pictures of all my mentors who have
nice.
so
Oh, that's a
far
beautiful
inspired
idea.
me. I can
Mm,
even show you that
mm-hmm,
also. So, to begin with, 2020, I was feeling the need. I was at my physical best, I
mm,
would say. And I was crushing with respect to physically losing weight. So
mm,
another thing, like I was somewhere around doing 21-kilometer barefoot run, 300 Surya
mm.
Namaskar like that. And then
Wow.
I felt this need of a guru,
Mm,
a teacher,
mm,
for guidance in my practice
mm,
so that I can evolve in my yoga practice more.
mm,
Um, I truly wanted to, you know, really understand more about yoga, and I realized that no, the YouTube channels or anything wherever all these
mm.
materials are there is
Yeah.
gonna help me. My soul was seeking a guru, a teacher, and that time I came across a very renowned teacher, Ajinkya Meher sir, and anything I say about him is, and it's been already 4 years I'm
Mm.
associated with him and online. Can you believe?
Uh,
I'm his online student for last 4 years, consistently, never missed his, uh,
mm,
matlab, never it has happened that I have missed his classes for 6 months or so. I have
mm,
always been in his classes for last 4 years. What he helped me with, I have to share with you. First month, just practice and experience being in that energy zone where I
mm,
found, and so he teaches only teachers.
mm,
What a discipline in the class.
mm,
Everyone's video is on in that Zoom meeting.
mm,
Everyone is fully visible.
mm,
Everyone is on time. And you can sense that energy. And I was so happy. Just
mm,
being in that energy zone
mm,
has helped me to grow so much.
mm,
And you will say it is very, again, very funny and weirdo sort of
mm,
that I, if I'm speaking to my teacher,
mm,
I will cry
uh,
out of so much of gratitude.
mm,
I can't stand like a normal person, two people are talking. It's very difficult for me for some reason. His
mm,
energies or his vibes are like that. I don't know. But I feel that immense gratitude. So I even asked him that, sir, why in your presence, if I'm talking to you
mm,
something, I feel crying. So he said, Yukti, you don't need to worry. It happens with me also. And it is
mm,
just because of a lot of gratitude that you feel for your teachers.
mm,
And yes, his one-liners, he says like, दिमाग को ठंडा रखो, body को
mm,
गरम on the mat, a
mm,
lot of commitment and consistency, a lot of, I say whatever he, apart from the physical practice, whatever the teachings
mm,
he gives us, I call it as a Gyan Vachan. And that has brought a lot of changes in me. I could
mm,
overcome my lot of fears. You know, I traveled to Mumbai for the first time just because of him. And
mm,
I was a very fearful person when it comes to traveling, and that too alone,
mm,
and that to Mumbai. It's a big, huge city, and
mm,
I had this notion because of some childhood. I have been to Mumbai. I belong to a small city, Lucknow.
mm,
From Lucknow to Mumbai in 12th
mm,
standard was a huge shift for me. I couldn't
mm,
get it. And when I was in 12th standard, when I entered into local train, I was,
mm.
बहुत भीड़ थी. I felt very suffocated. So I was not ready
Right.
to go to Mumbai. And then sir has told me that Yukti, tum aa jao, just everything will be taken care.
Mm,
And that just shifted to me, and that was the very awestruck kind of a journey of me and
mm,
staying there and connecting to people. Everything was happening.
mm,
I was just going flow. किसी ने मुझे खाने पे बुला लिया. Strangers से मैं जा जाके मिली हूँ
mm,
मुंबई में, and I was just stayed there. So that was first thing. Second,
mm,
I would like to um, bring a person, Mitesh Khatri. He
mm,
has hugely impacted, no doubt about
mm,
it, in various ways. He has also connected to me with a lot of, in fact, Siddharth has connected to Mitesh. That's how I come across Mitesh. He's
mm,
a law of attraction coach, Mitesh and Indu Khatri. I become the part of their community also. And yeah, I have learned a lot of things from them also. And
mm,
they play a huge role yet in my journey.
mm,
And they Siddharth and Mitesh has, so first Siddharth and then Mitesh has also introduced me to Dr. D Martini. I'm a
mm,
huge, I have not met him yet
mm,
personally, but yeah, they have been very powerful mentor for me, I would say. Even Dr. D Martini, I still follow his post and everything.
mm,
And I have done their courses also. I have done
mm.
his workshops, Dr. D
Right.
Martini workshops also have done. So these are the people, and then of course my Bali mentor. Like I have been into
Mm,
Bali, stayed there for 1 month, learning these conscious breathwork and ice bath
mm,
facilities, facilitator.
mm,
Um, and there's a huge difference between, I would say, the Indian teachers and the kind of a person I met there in Bali.
What was your
Very
teacher's
raw.
name? The one in Bali?
Alex, Alex,
Alex.
Alex.
Mm,
Yeah. So his name is Alex, and very simple guy. ऐसे चलता फिरता सा कोई है,
mm,
टी शर्ट है and shorts हैं. Very, very simple guy. And Rahul, when somehow when you seek something, you connect, universe connect. So I
mm,
come across his Instagram post, I check, and then I went to his website. April 21 maybe, or 22 it is. April
mm,
22 maybe, yeah, it is. It is April 22.
mm,
I started crying.
mm,
April 22, and I told my husband I have to do this program.
mm,
How, I don't know, but this is a 1 month program. I have to do it. And I cried for 30 minutes or something. I saw his website. And it is not about his any content I have
sure.
read, any
Mm,
testimony I have seen. No testimony, zero testimony seen on his website. Not even much content, just initial
mm,
few lines
mm,
maybe. And there was this one thing that just hit me was authenticity. It was not
mm,
breath work. It was not my desire to do ice bath. Yes, I am a huge follower of Wim Hof also.
mm,
Uh, And I wanted always to do ice bath, learn, practice, teach also. But it was not just doing breath work or ice bath and the logical mind, but it
mm,
was the word that hit me hard was how to be authentic.
mm,
I was so intrigued. What is this authenticity? Like what it is on this earth?
mm,
I wanted to really know that and experience that, and that's how my journey. And I had so much fear. आप सोच सकते हो मुंबई तो मैं जैसे तैसे चली गई.
mm,
It is still the India's part, but going to Bali,
mm,
staying there for 30 days all alone, the mind has, okay, if somebody rape you,
mm,
take your all money, everything. Can you trust this person, Alex? All those blah blah blah
mm,
thing. I cannot travel. I cannot change flight. How will I survive? All
mm,
those things. I know that how I can overcome it because
mm,
there comes a peak for you
mm,
where it is like your break point. You
mm,
are broken now. And it came to me in Jan 2024 where I realized either this Yukti or this. Either you continue being into your defeating, self-sabotaging mode,
mm,
playing the victim role, high fear,
mm,
or you take stand for yourself. What is
mm,
your go back to the roots? What is that you wish to do? Learn. When you say I'm passionate to learn about breathing,
mm,
like, this is your truth. Follow your truth.
mm,
I had this conversation with me, maybe just a minute or so,
mm,
shut off my prefrontal cortex, all the
mm,
fears gone away. I
mm,
stopped thinking about it, the fears and everything. I
mm,
just being very present. I booked my tickets, booked my, the accommodation, everything. That's how I flew to
mm,
Bali. And then this person, what is this person? I was like, and I was so awestruck, kind of like, he's not
mm,
teaching anything. There's no notes as such to take. There's just a simple conversation going on. If I am asking, can I do this? He was like, your choice.
mm,
He's not like pampering or something. No, no, you must take care of yourself. You take umbrella, it is outside raining. Rather, he will say, first day, first day being into Bali, it was
mm,
around, so there was a meetup of all the members. It
mm,
was there at his home.
mm,
That was also the training center. And everyone was staying outside his training center. No one was
mm,
staying. And everyone was staying in very different places, wherever they
mm,
have booked. So no one was staying with me. I didn't have anyone to along with me.
mm,
And this person around 7:30 when we were departing, and he was staying at a place where there's all rice field.
mm,
It's fully surrounded by rice field. There's no road, proper road.
mm,
There's only this much pagdandi, this
mm,
much only. That is going, and both the sides are rice field, 7:30 night time. And he's telling me, uh, all the participants, okay, just be little careful. You may end up having some snakes on the road.
mm.
Excuse me. I was like, you didn't tell us before I was coming. I was so fearful that moment.
Mm,
And like that, there were so many moments have come
mm,
where I seek validation. I seek, can can I get some support from him? And he has put the onus every time on me to take decision.
mm,
Every time on me. You decide, Yukti, you decide, Yukti,
mm,
you decide, Yukti. All the time. Whether it is, going to some place, jumping into the river,
mm,
taking an umbrella, having certain food, going out, like everything he never. And he says that, you are here in your journey. Do not
mm,
involve me in your journey. Keep me away. I have my own things to deal with. You deal with your own things.
mm,
So it's not coming from the space of guru. Especially in
mm.
India, we have this pyramid culture
Correct.
kind of. There's a guru and giving a lot of
Mm,
ashirvad and all those kind of things.
mm.
That he taught me how to, really connect with the group, not by
Right.
being on the top,
Mm,
but being with them. So there was
mm,
very, very small thing that when we are circling also, he was sitting at the same level with us, though there
Mm.
was a little higher rise also, but he was sitting. But when we go to any other practices, you can see the teacher is always up,
Sure.
student
Mm.
are always down, like that. So he completely removed this, and his retreats are also like that. He doesn't speak from podium, and
Mm.
all those stuff is not there. Our retreats, similarly, my retreats was also very
Mm.
different from the other retreats or things
Mm.
that happen.
Mm.
It is more on connection. So I have learned authenticity,
Mm.
truly authentic and vulnerable. How can I be? And that has
Mm.
bring a lot of, uh, you know, self fulfillment in me.
Mm.
Just to share with you, like I had this, I discovered in this journey, in fact, that
Mm.
um, so yeah, there was this Yukti who was doing everything right, but
Mm.
a part of it was not aligned,
Mm.
and I found myself also in chasing things and
Mm.
feeling desperate, and I could recognize some of my patterns, and one of them was fear of rejection.
Mm.
When I underwent breathwork practices, I could connect to my subconscious and got some flashes and could discover that
Mm.
I was carrying a lot of fear. I cannot handle rejection.
Mm.
And that was the big blocker for me, or for anyone, in fact. If you are
Mm.
having this fear of rejection, you are not accepting, and I was not accepting, and I was not growing.
Mm.
So, yeah, these things also, he helped me to understand about myself,
Mm.
and it has been a very, very amazing journey. So as of now, I would say, yeah, these are the people. Let me see, I have taken all the names. Yeah, I have taken all the names.
Nice. I love that. That's a beautiful idea. You're the first person I'm hearing talking about, having your mentors, people who have made a difference in your life, having, a wall of their um, pictures to
Yes,
remind you of the journey that you've been on. Uh,
yes.
so that was really beautiful to hear. And,
Yeah,
as
and I,
we,
I hope I
Mhm.
have already mentioned about Siddharth.
Yes,
From there,
yes,
exactly,
yeah.
the journey has
That's
started for
correct,
me.
right? So before we go, of course, one or two questions. One is, if there was a question that you would have wanted me to ask, which I haven't asked yet, right? What would that be?
Mhm. Hmm. It reminded me of our conversation a few days back that we
Mm-hmm.
had, and
Mm-hmm.
the question pop up to me is, who is Yukti? But now I know the answer.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, nothing as such.
Nice. Awesome. So, of course, all your details will be shared in our on our YouTube channel, and even when this goes up on the various other channels. This is besides whatever little technical hiccups we had at the beginning. So you will still, when this video goes up and we upload it onto the various channels, we will be including all the details of how people can reach you. And of course, for those of you who are watching this, please, do as Yukti said, even 20 years, 30 years from now, do check in with her, and how far or how much more has she gone on her journey of doing the 108 Surya Namaskars.
Yeah,
And who knows, 108 at 108, right? So, because it's true. I mean, it's not just us talking about it now as a global movement. It's still a whisper, but people more and more are talking about longevity and, living with the intention and with AI and, medicine and what have you, like and even technology. It's becoming more and more of a reality that, 100 becomes the new 80, right? So as we get older, what used to be 80 was like pretty much, for most people, you were lucky if you got to 80. Now it's like 100 would be a very normal thing. So a healthy 100, is a bigger bonus. So, it's really been beautiful to hear your stories, and one can tell, I can definitely tell that you've put a lot of heart into this, you put a lot of soul into this, and What I loved about your story is that you could have chosen to settle, meaning, uh, in spite of the way earlier, setbacks or the accident or whatever it is, when you had kind of found your path, you could have chosen to just do that. But you decided somewhere inside of you to hear that calling, and you went even deeper, right? And I'm sure, maybe, who knows, in a couple of years when we do a part two, and you're like, hey, you know what? Let me tell you about this new journey that I went on, and where I discovered something new about myself. So to me, that's really inspiring, because a lot of us, especially as coaches and healers, we strive for success. Like, you have your sort of um, hall of honor, or your mark of honor, where you've got that, your uh, your plaque, your certificate behind you, as a reminder of what you've done, what you've achieved. That's your 1 crore champion, right? So for a lot of coaches and healers, they strive for something like that. But what I love about your story is that you didn't settle with that. You still, when you heard the calling, you went deeper. You did things that were way beyond your comfort zone. And for me, that is inspiring. And my wish for others also is that they take this one definite takeaway from your story, which is to keep going deeper, keep going further, because the purpose will lead you, where you're meant to go. So,
Yes. So yeah, Rahul, we being as a coach, it is very important for us to keep on
yes,
inventing ourselves.
yeah,
And I think for me it is very important uh, to keep reinventing for myself.
mm,
In fact, I was talking to one of the friend coach, and I was
mm,
telling her that
mm,
I think I am going through my second evolution. So my first
mm,
evolution was overcoming the diseases kind of,
mm,
and building myself physically, healing
mm,
mentally, emotionally.
mm,
But yes, I am currently feeling I am undergoing a second kind of
right,
evolution,
mm,
a more of a spiritual alignment,
mm,
and yeah, that's all. So maybe next time when we meet, I would be able to share more details by
yeah,
connecting the dot
yeah, yeah.
of this my second soul journey. That's all I can say.
Love that second soul journey. So, firstly, and once more, Yukti, thank you so much for taking the time and for sharing
You.
your story. And I know this is definitely going to be inspiring for many people, especially people like us who are on the journey already, where they know that that they have a deeper purpose, and they are not only willing to connect to it, but to also go beyond that. So, thank you so much for sharing your story and
Thank you
inspiring
so
them.
much.
And as I said, your details have been shared so people can definitely follow along. And of course, for those of you who have reached this point of this wonderful, amazing, powerful podcast, I know that you have connected with Yukti and her energy. So continue to follow her story for years and years to come, and reach out to her if there's something that what you heard from her story that really resonated with you. Do reach out to her. Do experience what she's doing, because breath is something that is so universal. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what your life experiences have been, but breath is something that we all have, and we can always do with a lot more. We can always do with deeper, clearer, stronger breath. So I wish each and every one of you out there who's watching this, of course, and that may you benefit even more from what Yukti is doing and will continue to do. So,
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much. And I take a moment here to breathe with you
mm,
and all the people, those who are listening, watching this
mm-hmm,
podcast, everyone. It's just a reminder, your breath is a reminder for you to, you know, coming back to your home.
mm,
So before
beautiful.
we just end up this podcast, can we all just breathe together? Take a deep breath in and stretch your arms. And as you breathe out, bring your palms to the heart center and just say, I'm grateful to my breath. I'm grateful to my healthy body, mind, and soul. I'm grateful to this whole universe. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And truly
Thank
grateful
you.
to you, Rahul. You are such a wonderful person, and I so
You.
connect with your energies. And one request to everyone, yeah, please do join, Rahul's session. They are very magnetic, is all I can say. And I see the flow. I feel
Mm,
the flow when I am with you.
Beautiful.
and flow is the life. There's
Yeah.
no resistance.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. I'm like literally getting
So
goosebumps right now. So
true,
yeah,
you get goosebumps.
I was just as you were talking about the session, I was suddenly taken back a couple of weeks ago when I had the honor of being invited into your community, and we did this session, which I think initially it was supposed to be half an hour, but we just kept extending, and it was beautiful to interact with members from your community,
Amazing, amazing. Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, this is really what it is, right? That
it
we've been
is
blessed
absolutely.
with, with our purpose, and that we get to breathe life into it, and it breathes life into us every day. So that's my prayer. That I always say this whenever I go live, and even in the community, I always say that eventually it's like, remember to live your purpose because we all have it. It's just that now thankfully more and more of us are opening our eyes. COVID was of course for a lot of us it was like a wake up call, but a lot of us are now starting to stay open to that and stay connected to our purpose. So with that, of course, one more time, Yukti, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
to all of you out
Gratitude.
there, remember, just keep showing up, and of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. We will be back, of course, with more pods. We do this, we make it a point to find truly amazing people. And I'm sure you can see that we deliver on that promise every single time. Yukti's stories, Yukti's insights, Yukti's philosophy and wisdom, I'm sure, will go with you for a very, very long time. So until the next one, God bless. And of course, we'll be back very, very soon. Take care. And give me a
Thank
second,
you.
Yukti, while I